Hey everyone, Andrea here, part two, day two of my self-imposed confession session. Honestly, I felt like not talking today already on day two. It was a rough morning. We had to do a lot of care here, but all the things on my list that I should be doing, I don't really want to do, and I'm sure you can empathize with me. I have that little knot in the back of my throat of irritation and frustration, and I keep telling myself that talking helps release that knot, helps process some things. So I'm going to stick to the question that I posed for myself and for you from yesterday. What makes you you? What are three characteristics that have shaped who you are and the decisions that you make? And I really want to know. I really want to know what those defining moments are, because I think that helps us understand our different perspectives and come together and find common ground. So I'm going to share my three characteristics, and these are things that some people might know about me, some people might not know about me. The first one being health. Unfortunately, I have not had the best of health pretty much my entire life. I was actually born with a heart murmur. It closed up on its own, but it kind of set the tone for my existence. It's a cute story. I was born in June, and I had to stay a little bit longer in the hospital, so I was actually brought home on Father's Day. But my poor health has always followed me. So when I was a little baby, I had a cold a couple of weeks old, which you're not supposed to have as a little baby. And throughout my whole childhood, I always got sick on holidays. I always had strep throat, I always had sinus infections. When I was in high school, I had a couple of weird things pop up that put me in the hospital. And those things have kind of moved with me throughout my adult life. And how that has shaped me is I understand what it means to be knocked on your ass, to be sick to the point where for the next 5 to 7 days you're going to be having to rest a lot, to slow down. So when I am healthy, when I am feeling good, I want to go 110%. I say I'm a liver. I want to live to the fullest. And I think that has significantly affected my patience, because when I am able-bodied and I am able to move forward with things, I want to do it right now, because there's no time like the present, because I may be knocked out tomorrow and not able to do the things that I want to do tomorrow. So I need to live today. The next thing that has significantly shaped my life is me being dyslexic. My dyslexia was something that as a young girl was a really big challenge. I had a hard time learning how to read and write, but my mom did something really wonderful. She didn't tell me I was dyslexic. She just told me I needed to learn differently, and that made a lot of sense to me. So I never had the opportunity to use that as a crutch. I just told myself I needed to learn differently. I was a visual learner. And my mom used to say I'm like a pit bull. When I want something, I hold on to it and I don't let go until I get it. And sometimes that is definitely a good or bad thing, knowing when to let go and move on from things, and knowing what things to fight for, to advocate for. But that has definitely given me a certain level of tenacity and a certain level of ambition and relentlessness. Which once again, I have to come to understand myself. I constantly tell my students, the greatest lesson you will learn throughout your whole life is yourself, who you are, how you work, what you need, what you can give, what you can receive. And my dyslexia has definitely put me in a category where, yes, I need to learn differently, but I also have these superpowers. I have this ability to see things, to problem solve, to piece things together that maybe somebody else wouldn't see. So I need to constantly hold on to those positives, and at the same time acknowledge how much I've overcome. As someone who struggled in math and in reading to now teaching at a few different colleges, being able to get in front of a class and to read aloud chapters, to be able to have taught a math class. The first class I ever taught was a fashion buying and planning math course to study abroad Germans, an insane class to start off with. And the last thing that has affected me and my perspective and gotten me to where I am today is fashion. It's fashion. I knew I wanted to be in the fashion industry since I was this big. My father actually made my mother's wedding dress. So my whole family, we know how to sew, and we're active crafters and DIYers, and growing up we always went to the thrift store and bought old man pants and ripped them up and made them into new things. But how fashion has really shaped my life is not only did it give me a direction from a very early age, because I think that's something that people struggle with, is just finding their passion, finding the problem that they want to work for the rest of their lives to solve. But fashion has really fed me because it's something that you can grow and change and evolve with. So of course, when I was little, I wanted to be a model. And then I moved on to wanting to be a fashion designer and a pattern maker. And after achieving those goals, moving on to doing sourcing and coordinating. And now I teach in international trade and global sourcing, and trying to connect the dots between what we buy and how it affects people all around the world. And now I'm trying to figure out where that fashion journey is going to continue to take me, what direction it will grow and evolve and change with. And one of the things that I think through doing this exercise before I'm talking to you today, I wrote down some notes, and thinking back to yesterday, is how does this narrative I've created for myself limit me, and what is no longer serving me? So maybe me being dyslexic is no longer a defining part of my life. Maybe my health issues, if I could let go of that narrative and find other ways to de-stress, because I think a lot of times I make myself sick through not having other outlets to relieve stress. So what new narrative? How do I want to grow and change moving into this next decade? Moving this next phase into my adulthood? How in 10 years do I want to look back and think what were the next 3 characteristics or 3 narratives or 3 circumstances that shaped who I am, how I perceive the world, what I give to the world, what I expect from other people and other relationships. So hopefully that is some questions that I can maybe dig into over the next few days, and I certainly invite you once again to participate and share with me, either out for everyone else to see, or privately share with me what are those defining moments for your life. And if we're working together, if you want to work with me, what are the things that I should know that have shaped you into the person that you are, that would help me better work with you? Because I think that it's all about relationship building, and it's all about figuring out how we can work together better and empathize with one another and help each other grow in a really conscious way. So thank you for those who listened, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And I have to say, I feel better. I chatted. Thank you.